Welcome back to Montana. I don't know about you, but I really struggle to get out of beds in the morning when it's cold, and it has been cold lately. So today I am going to try to get some breakfast prep and some breakfast foods ready and easy to go, so then that way if I wait till the very last second to get out of the warm covers, I can still feed everybody breakfast before Kirk's got to go for work. Those of you who don't know me, my name's Cece. My husband Kirk and I homestead in the big beautiful state of Montana, and we are knee-deep in winter. Like literally the snow is as deep as our knees out there. Last week I posted a video of a big snowstorm, and this week we are struggling with like 0 degrees, hence why I am dressed warm even though I'm inside. But breakfast. Does anybody else struggle with breakfast? My husband has to be out the door at a certain time, and so I try to have breakfast ready for us to go together as a family, and sometimes we move a little slower in the mornings when it's cold. So I am going to make some blueberry muffins. That has been requested by my kiddos, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and make a breakfast casserole. Now this breakfast casserole, I don't know if I can put in the freezer, but I can at least put it in the refrigerator for a day or two. And then lastly, I am going to do some instant oatmeal packets. I'm probably gonna go ahead and put them in like a snacky size Ziploc instead of putting them in individual glass jars like I've done in the past, just because I don't have room on my pantry for a bunch of glass jars. If you've got little kids, you kind of understand. And then that way they're just super easy to open up and put them in a bowl like you do when you buy those instant oatmeal packs. On top of that, because our cows are milking, well, our one cow, Rue, is milking, we have yogurt as well. So I'm hoping with this stuff, this will help me get through breakfast in the next week and hopefully make my mornings go just a little bit smoother. Because I tell you what, when it's -20, it's hard to get out of a warm bed, especially when upstairs is not heated. Live in an old farmhouse. Our upstairs is not heated. We use electric blankets. So, you know where I'm going. Okay, first up, I am going to do a blueberry muffin. I use this cookbook. This is a cookbook that my mom had when I was growing up. And so there is a blueberry muffin recipe on here on page 19. And I'm gonna go ahead and get this started. And then I think as some of these are in the oven, I will do the breakfast casserole. But first of all, I pretty much need to put my dry ingredients together and then add my wet ingredients and then add the blueberries. I use freeze-dried fruit in the wintertime, a lot of times in the summer too, but especially Thrive Life, they pick their produce when it is ripe. So you get the flavor and you get the nutrition when it is like coming straight off the vine. When it is ripe, they freeze it pretty much within 24 hours. So it locks in the majority of that. Not like going to the grocery store, especially in the middle of the winter time. You know they've had to ship that fruit in, and there's no way that it was picked when it was ripe or it would be completely rotten. So I'm gonna use freeze-dried blueberries, and then in the oatmeal, I will do freeze-dried peaches and strawberries and probably some oatmeal, some blueberries as well. Did I say blueberries? Strawberries. Strawberries, peaches, blueberries, and probably some apples. So let me get these muffins started. Gonna put the dry ingredients together first. Okay, now my wet ingredients is some melted butter. It calls for 1 egg, but we have tiny little Banty eggs, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do 2. Okay, the recipe originally said to reserve a little bit of flour to sprinkle over top of the blueberries, probably to help absorb some of that moisture. But since I'm using freeze-dried, there's no moisture to them. It calls for 1 cup of blueberries. I'm gonna do 1 cup of freeze-dried. Fold those in. All right, now time to get my muffin pans ready. You're getting your hat and gloves to the fireplace. The kiddos came in, they were playing outside. They are very cold and wet. So they are in now, so it might get a little louder. All right, I got them all to fit. They might be a little full when they come out, but here we go. I think next up I'm going to do the breakfast casserole. You basically make a meat and cheese sandwich. You can do whatever meat, whatever cheese you want, and I'm going to use probably a 9x9, might be an 8x8, 8x8, 9x9 pan. I'm probably going to try to make 4 sandwiches, and then you pour like an egg milk mixture over it. But first up, I'm going to go ahead and make the sandwiches. For Christmas, my husband got me one of these. I think they're called a fiddle bow or a bow bread knife. I was definitely influenced, and there is a good reason why. It just cuts so nice. I think he bought it off of Etsy somewhere, so I honestly don't know if I could find the link if somebody wanted it. This one is, whoops, he did get it personally engraved with my name on it as well. He did good. All right, 1, 2, this homemade bread. Okay, I might not be making 4 sandwiches. Might only be making, I wonder if I can cut this guy. So what happens when you make circular loaves of bread and try to fit it in a square pan? I'll make it work. It doesn't matter if it's not pretty. Okay, meat. I might throw the other pack of sandwich meat on there yet too. Okay, I am almost out of sliced cheese, so I'm going to leave the sliced cheese for if we do make a sandwich. And I'm going to do a little bit of freeze-dried cheddar cheese. And some shredded mozzarella. And then try to remember kind of how my loaves of bread were. Okay, now I am going to mix 4 eggs, some dried mustard, probably just going to be wet mustard because I don't have dry mustard. So like a half a teaspoon of mustard, half a teaspoon of salt, and a cup and a half of milk. I'm going to go ahead and pour that over top of that. So let me get that ready. Okay, I have my eggs, my milk, a little bit of salt, a little bit of mustard, and I'm just going to go ahead and pour this right on here. Okay, and that needs to soak at a minimum overnight. And then the morning of cooking, I'm going to sprinkle some cornflakes on top of it and just kind of throw like some chunks of butter and put it in the oven at 325 for roughly an hour. So I'm going to go ahead and put some saran wrap on this. I'm going to go put it in our back workroom right now because that's basically like a walk-in cooler right now. So this will stay back there until I'm ready to use it some morning. But again, another super simple thing. Just make some meat and cheese sandwiches, put some milk and egg over top of it. Okay, let's get some oatmeal ready. I found this off of the seasonalhomestead.com. I always want to give credit when I'm using certain people's recipes. So I'm gonna do 5 cups of oats, 2/3 cup of sugar, a teaspoon of salt, and a 1/4 teaspoon of powdered milk. So let me get that going. Okay, 5 cups of oats. It says like maple sugar or brown sugar. I'm just gonna use regular sugar, 2/3. Okay, teaspoon of salt and a 1/4 cup powdered sugar, powdered milk. 1/4 cup, that's a 1/3 cup. About yo. And then I had seen a different recipe one time that they had added like some chia seeds or flax seeds. I'm gonna go ahead and add a little flax seed because I rarely ever use it and it's good for you. Okay, this is my base. I'm gonna mix this up really good, and then I'm gonna wanna put 1/3 in a little sack, and then add whatever else type of fruit that I want to do. So, okay. Okay, that'll work out really good. Okay, so it's gonna take me a little while to divvy these all out. So I'll be back when I have all of them equaled out. Okay, meanwhile, the muffins are out. I think I'm gonna try to pull these out of here pretty quickly before they get stuck in there. And the kids are absolutely chomping at the bit to get their hands on one of those. I did remember that blueberry muffins are best fresh. So I'm not sure how many will be left for tomorrow morning for breakfast. But that's okay. Maybe next time I'll mix it all up ahead of time and then just bake it the morning of or something if I want hot, fresh blueberry muffins. Or just pop them in the microwave and warm them up. So I'm gonna see if I can get these out. I did not put cupcake paper on them, and maybe I should have. Okay, I got them all loose. They look a little extra toasty. Next time I'm probably gonna use paper and maybe not put them in for the full 25 minutes. I'll probably go ahead and put the recipe for those down below, but honestly, you can find 1,000,001 different types of blueberry muffin recipes. Just use whatever you like to use. So, okay, now back to filling little baggies. Okay, it would have actually made 17 little baggies, but towards the end I noticed that the sugar was starting to stay at the bottom. So the last bag, I kind of divided it out between my 3 or 4 first ones that I started with because I didn't feel like I got very much sugar. So now comes the fun part. You get to add whatever you want to add. So I think I'm gonna do about 4. These, when I was packing these up or looking at them, I'm like, this is great for camping and if you do backpacking and anything like that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do just kind of a dash of cinnamon because I think I'm gonna do like a cinnamon and apple. And then again, I'm gonna use freeze-dried apples, partly because I like that you can kind of crumble them and you don't get like super big chunks. She says to do, well, I'm wondering if this is for the whole batch. Yeah, so like for the whole batch, you would do like 2 cups of chopped apples or freeze-dried apples and a teaspoon of cinnamon. So I am not, obviously I'm not gonna do a whole batch of one flavor. I'm gonna do a mixture of flavors. So I'm just gonna kind of just guess what I think each person would kind of like. Looks like I need a little bit more. This is the great thing about kind of doing your own. You kind of get to personalize it however you want. All right, apple and cinnamon are done. Next up, I think I'm gonna do some strawberries. Oh, I have a can started in the pantry. I'll go get that in a minute. I'm gonna do some peaches. I know peaches is a big favorite of ours. So, again, I'm just gonna kind of those do not break up quite as easily. Might have to actually take a knife and cut those. Okay, some peaches. I think I'm gonna do, yeah, I wonder if I can do 4 of each. Hey, that works out perfect. I can do 4 of each. Bingo. Let me fill these with peaches. Okay, I got them done. I have 4 blueberries, 4 strawberries, 4 peaches, 4 apples, and then whenever we're ready to use them, we just open these up, put them in a bowl like you normally would, and add 2/3 water, and then you just put it in the microwave like you normally would, or put hot water with it. These, I've been like looking around at like overnight oatmeal or oatmeal parfaits and stuff like that. So I think you could definitely do some of that kind of stuff with these as well. But I'm pretty happy with the way these turned out. I think I'm gonna put them all in a big Ziploc, like gallon-sized Ziploc, and put tape on there so I know how much water to add. But yeah, these are gonna last us for quite a while. The kids already needed some blueberry muffins. So anyways, I feel better about breakfast. It is now 3:45 and I need to figure out what to make for supper tonight. Whoops. Anyways, hope this helps you guys out and we'll catch you next time.